Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cosmic Mystic. So there was no video last week. I left my laptop at work, and then my work shut down because we were all snowed in. So that's why there was no video. However, we have our solar eclipse happening on the 17th, as well as the Lunar New Year. So we are going to celebrate that, do some readings around that. The following week, I think, will be not a reading week, but I'm still going to post something a little interesting because we're all about spiritual growth here and, like, you know, taking care of ourselves and knowing how to function authentically within our own spiritual practices. And that might be different for other people, for everyone, okay? Because not everybody's the same, believe it or not. So we're going to be discussing some different stuff next week. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. I am using the Lord of the Rings tarot deck. So I haven't used this one in a minute. I'm excited to get back into this one, okay? All right, so what's happening for this Lunar New Year? All right, we've got the Emperor. This is all about having structure, setting boundaries, and really coming from a space of empowerment and wanting growth. All right. So a lot of people have this misconception that, and it's literally because, we're focusing on like the royalty aspect of things, that the emperor can be really controlling and really, strict and to the point, but really he is the vessel, the space he is the container that holds growth. He is the container that allows that divine feminine aspect to nurture and create. So it really is about being that container for yourself to create and knowing when to bring these new ideas, new concepts, anything you are working on, percolating into the material world. All right. So it's really about having the structure, having the framework to allow that which you are manifesting to flourish. And that takes mindset, that takes, guys, and this takes focus, this takes discipline. So while it's great to go through the emotions, to really acknowledge feelings and things like that, allow yourself, invite yourself to see, are these actually my feelings, or is this the feelings of the collective I'm dealing with? Are these the feelings of a social media post I saw? Are these the feelings of the person who honked at me as they drove by? All right, so be very present within your being, and so you know what's yours and what's not yours. So this thing is like a little precious diamond, okay? Take care of it, nurture it, love it. And then we've got the Temperance card. So it really is, yes, this acknowledgement of balance. So like I said, while it's great to have the emotions, to process emotions, have the ability to discern what's yours and what's not yours. Not only that, have the ability to discern what you can keep, what is benefiting your growth, and what really no longer serves. So, because the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, is all about, we're transitioning from the snake to the horse. So it's really this idea: what is yours, okay, and what needs to shed, what is no longer serving you, and what needs to stay in order for you to ride forth strongly. Okay, so really take time to own it, have that discipline to sit down, have that discipline. And I know there's a lot going on in the world. Shut out the world, because you have something you need to create. You have a purpose here. And while all this stuff is happening, constantly having it infiltrate your mind, infiltrate your energy field, because honestly, like, still, even with all this stuff coming out, they're still only giving you like the pinky finger nail aspect of it. They're still watering it down. They're still creating division. They're still using news outlets and media outlets to bring unsettlement. So rather than focusing on all of that, and not saying completely shut it out, if you're called to watch it, do so in moderation. A lot of you guys are consuming things way too much. A lot of you are on social media way too much. A lot of you are watching the news way too much. And yes, there is spiritual bypassing. However, there is also the aspect of spiritual bypassing where you're so ingrained in the world that you're not stepped in the name of spirit. You are so staying informed with everything that's going on that you're neglecting your own spirit. And that's a form of bypassing. That's a form of not taking care of your own crap. So shut that stuff off. Use it like, do it in moderation. Cleanse yourself. Take care of yourself. Meditate. Sit in dirt. Lay in dirt. Okay? Do what you got to do to get back into this sense of center. That's really what's the most important thing, because you can't do anything if you are not centered. You can't do anything if you are not coming from a place of I am. You can't do anything if you aren't coming from a place of presence, okay? So quit listening to people around you saying you need to stay informed, you need to stay up to date, you need to stay on social media, you need to keep posting and doing all this stuff, and go within and see what you need to do. There we go. And then we have got this 10 of rings in reverse. For some of you, this is bad business dealings. That's what I'm getting. Bad connections. These things that you thought were going to serve you, that you thought were going to bring you abundance and prosperity, and the physical support that you thought you were going to have from these connections isn't there. So really be able to let go of that and acknowledge that some of these things you just connect with because you're kind of afraid of being alone and you're kind of afraid of doing it on your own. It's time for you to cultivate inner abundance. It's time for you to go within and have that sense of inner abundance before stepping out and connecting with people, before stepping out and networking and trying to prove that you're enough and trying to co-create with people who might not be on the same vibrational level as you. All right? So don't feel bad if you reject certain things, if you say no to certain events, if you say no to certain deals, because not all of these deals are going to serve you. Be willing to say no, be willing to reject. Don't post and don't advertise things in support of other people when you don't have that 100%, when you don't feel like they're 100% in alignment with you. Support those you want to support. Not everyone is for you, and you are not for everyone. And it's time to really acknowledge that and be okay with that. And sometimes it's like you guys are meant to be, but only for like a certain amount of time. Really be aware of that. Be willing to set those boundaries and have that sense of discipline within you guys. Okay. It's really all about not taking crap. It's all about not taking crap anymore. Not being this like passive person, like, oh yeah, I'm going to connect and network and be friends and be in co-creation with these people when these people are riding on your coattails, when they're getting more out of you than you are getting out of them. All right. So really take time to discern what's working and what isn't working for you. Then we have got this 7 of Wands in reverse. It's kind of, oof, and this still has to go on with these connections, these people. So it's like, it feels like there's a lot of bickering going on, a lot of drama behind the scenes, and it's really time to let go and walk away, because you know you are it. All right. You know you are king of the hill. All right. You are that emperor card. Why do you got to fight with people who aren't willing to see your worth? Why do you got to fight with people who are just trying to drag you down? Okay. It's not time to be messy. It's not time to deal with stupid things. It's time for you to get in alignment with who you are and be willing to work alone. Be willing to work with only those who are in alignment with you. And that's going to be very few people. Okay. That's not going to be a lot of people. You are shedding. Okay. You are shedding these final layers, and you are going to come out with a lot less burdens, because those things are this idea that being connected with everyone, being friends with everyone is a thing of the past. Not, and this isn't saying don't be polite, don't be, you know, cordial or happy to see other people. This isn't saying that at all. This is saying that know who you're meant to be close with and know your little, your inner circle, and then acknowledge people who are on the outer layers, and then the outer layers, and then the outer layers, and then the people who are just out in the stratosphere. Okay, so really be okay with that. Not everybody has to be your bestie. Okay, not everybody has to be your bestie. And then we've got this strength card. Oh, look at this strength card. Hi, Gimli. Okay, sorry, distracted. But this strength card, it's like, yeah, you really have, and this is like a deep sense of grounding into who you are and knowing these two aspects of yourself, these dualistic aspects of yourself as well. And so I'm looking at the number right here, just FYI, because sometimes the strength card is 11. In this case, it's 8, and 8 is ruled by Saturn. All right, and Saturn, we know, does not play games, okay? Saturn does not play games. Saturn sets these boundaries. Saturn lets go of things that doesn't serve it anymore and is willing to face the darkness and go within in order to bring karmic balance into your being. Okay, so you, like, the more you let go, and for some of you might have to get a little nasty with people. Okay, some of you might have to get a little mean, and that's okay. All right, a little mean, a little firm, whatever, and that's okay. So allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself to set these boundaries and say, like, no, these things don't serve me anymore. I'm walking away. i'm I'm not dealing with it. Okay, this is just too much. You guys are doing too much, and it is, and it feels like I'm getting like little gossipy, chatty Cathys, chatty Cathys. That's what I'm getting. Okay, and they need to be a little less chatty. So really be okay with that. All right. And we have got this 10 of Swords. I'm just looking at this. Is such an interesting card. Sorry, I have not used this deck in like over a year. So I just have to admire things. All right. So this is really, gosh, this is super deep belief systems. And it's like what I'm getting from this card, if you guys understand the Kabbalistic tree of life, like it feels like the bottom 7 Sephiroth are kind of inverted, and then the top 3 are down here. And this is really a shift in your belief system, a shift in, and this is super abrupt, in your hierarchy, your internal hierarchy is what I'm seeing. It's like the things you thought to be true about the spiritual realm, about spirituality in this day and age, about the cosmos, the secrets of life, they're all being flipped upside down, and you're looking at them like it feels like these are like the bottom 7 Sephiroth, and you're looking at them, and as you cast out these top 3 Sephiroth, because they really don't serve you, these bottom 7 elevate. So it's like these 3 turn into Kether, Chokmah, and Bina. So the top 3 Sephiroth. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry this is getting so deep, guys. Okay, but it's like they're, and then these ones are also elevating, and these 3 are becoming the bottom 3 that now you have to work through and see, like, okay, this spiritual reality of mine was that I thought was light, that I thought was truth, is actually a little bit darker, a little bit more egocentric than I thought. So what is truth? And now it's time for you to really reevaluate your belief system, letting go of a lot of belief systems that you've held on to. And like I said, this is sudden. It's like, and when it comes to like spiritual belief systems, be very patient with yourself, okay? Because that's a lot. All right, that's a lot. Like, you know, those people who might be let's just say Catholic because I was Catholic, but like Catholic, for example, for like 50 years, and then all of a sudden they shift and they have to reevaluate their whole beliefs around the Catholic Church. It's like that level, okay? So be very patient with yourself. Page of Rings in reverse. So it's kind of like these belief systems were really sucking you dry. It's like, and it's more like the outer world, kind of like you were listening to a hierophant or a guru, things like that. And they were promising you abundance and prosperity. They were promising you all these things, but they weren't able to deliver on these promises. They said, if you do this, 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 and this, you're going to be rich, you're going to be famous. And you're still sitting here waiting and like, okay, this stuff has not come. What's going on? Okay. So it's kind of like these hierarchy of people saying, you have to think these certain ways, you have to behave this certain way in order to be spiritual. These false prophets have failed to deliver, and now there's that discouraged factor. And this is so interesting because this is actually like kind of like the video that I'm going to be talking about next week about false prophets and things like that. And it really is a transition because it's an invitation for you to go deeper into yourself. While it sucks as it's happening, it's really learning how to be sovereign and how to be independent and how to think for yourself and use your own discernment. Like, we're at the day and age where like it's time for teachers and in every level to encourage questions, to encourage people thinking for themselves rather than just following a rule book, okay? And yeah, we like we were talking about the Hierophant and false prophets. Here's the Hierophant in reverse. And you can see this on a global level with the spiritual these spiritual people having their own downfalls. However, this also feels like it's at a smaller like community level as well. Like when the top falls, it's like like just watch just watch the pyramid crumble, okay? And so really learning how to think for yourself, be for yourself, tossing out the rule book, tossing out the idea that these people are the voice of God for you, okay? So like for example, even in my readings, I ask people, I'm like throughout the reading, like, does this make sense? Is this in alignment with you? And if it isn't in alignment with them, then we got to readjust, and I got to readjust and figure out, okay, what's going on. And that's okay, because like I don't 100% know anything, and I have to acknowledge that. However, it really is imperative for you to learn how to use that discernment, okay? Instead of people just saying, oh yeah, this and this is going to happen to you, and you freaking out about it, okay? And if you do tend to just tap into those fear mongers or tap into those people who just want to speak for you and want to control you and give you false promises, just be compassionate with yourself. Be very caring. Like, it's actually not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of an initiation in a way, and now it's time for you to grow into your individual soul journey, okay? And then we've got this 2 of rings. Yeah, this 2 of rings in reverse. I'm sorry. So this 2 of rings in reverse, and there has been a lack of play for quite a bit of time. It's time to bring in that sense of play, that sense of lightheartedness, okay? We're coming out of winter, okay? Slowly but surely. Like, I took a 3-hour walk today. We are coming out of winter. And it's time to reintegrate that sense of play, that sense of joy, rather than this sense of obligation. And I have to do these things. I have to work. I have to uh, go do X, Y, and Z. And if I don't, I'm not going to make money. I'm not going to do this. Like, the more you take time to play, the more you take time to relax, watch how different pathways open up for you. The more you tap into your own inner sense of joy, more pathways are going to open up for you. And it is kind of terrifying and it is kind of scary, but it's really about blocking out all these outer noises and doing what's best for you, okay? All right. And then we have got this 3 of swords. And sometimes, guys, I just have to look at these for a minute, and I always know like the numbers are on top, okay? I don't know why with the Lord of the Rings deck, I always go like, oh, is it reversed? Is it up top? I don't know. That's just something I do with only this deck, with only this deck. So this Three of Swords, and this is really about acknowledging the pain and allowing yourself these next few days to really mourn and feel these things. And I know people say swords are really scary, but swords are actually like, for me, the card of humanity, okay? So wands is like that higher, that spiritual guidance, that type of thing. Water is that reflexive quality, that feminine quality. So the fire and the water come together, but it, and so the water is more material. It's the swords that bring that attraction together. So swords is man bringing together heaven and earth and then birthing something with that. So that thing is usually pentacles, or in this case rings. So embrace your humanity. The more you embrace your humanity, the highs and lows of these things, the feelings that are going on within you, the more you embody your highest self down here on earth, the more you are able to birth beauty, the more you are able to birth the things that need to be birthed on this earth, okay? The things that are going to bring it into that higher frequency. So allow yourself that humanness, invite yourself to feel the things and think the things and then be able to let them go, okay? Just have that inner state of being, that inner state of awareness, while and having fun with it. So like this Two of Rings, not taking it so seriously. Like it can be fun to be sad and to be sobbing. Like it can be a whole beautiful experience, okay? It can be fun to be angry and to want to destroy something, because that means you're alive, okay? You being angry is proof that you are alive. You loving your to the fullest is proof that you're alive. So this Three of Swords is the invitation to go through all aspects of feeling, all aspects of what it means to be human, and accepting them as they are at this moment, okay? And like, and saying like, yeah, it can hurt. Like this Three of Swords can definitely hurt. It's not always an easy card, but it's worth it. And you've just got to trust that, okay? And you've just got to surrender to that, to being here in this present moment, to being human here on earth at this time, channeling down the higher frequencies and bringing up the earthly support and allowing them to balance within your being, and then seeing what happens, okay? So fully embody that, okay? And then we have got this Five of Swords. And so this Five of Swords, there's this internal conflict, and it's really the sense of obligation, the sense of, oh, I should do this or I shouldn't do this. Um, Really, and that's more based on societal rules and expectations that have been placed upon you. And so there is this internal conflict like, oh, I shouldn't be thinking these thoughts. I shouldn't be feeling these feelings. I can't say that. I can't do that. That's not right. Let those go. Okay, really get into that heart space. And like, heart chakra is air, by the way, just like swords. So get into that heart space and find the purest air you can find, and allow yourself to be, and allow the mind to be still, and allow the mind to be silent, okay? And then we have got this Four of Wands, and just watch how you build your own safety, how you start relaxing and really being able to be an open channel for spirit. Your intuition is going to let you go on that next level. Your ideas are going to go on that next level. This confidence that's being developed is going on that next level. And this feels like after the 17th, after the 17th, things really start falling into place for you. And this is like the perfect conclusion card, because we have in the beginning this Emperor card, which is a four. And then we have this Four of Wands as well, which is all about safety, support, encouraging, being able to embrace who you are and be your fullest self. So just watch, like, wow, this is like a lot happening in these next few days, okay? I'm filming this on the 13th, and this is like the concluding card, and it's just for the 17th. So that's very interesting. But watch how things start to fall into place once you start letting go. We are reaching the end of a cycle, and it's time for you to be you. It's time for you to embrace you and just fully embody who you are because we need you, okay? We love having you here. All right, and this is the Moonology Oracle deck, and then we are closing out. And if you'd like to book a reading, head on over to thecosmichaven.com and book a reading. I have a few events coming up in March, so I will be at Crown and Stone March 7th. I have to email the time still. I will get on that after this. And then I will be teaching Reiki 1 certification at Love Light Collective on March 22nd. Okay, so I'll put at least the Love Light Collective down below. I'll put the other one down once I get it situated. That's on me. All right. Ooh, so we have got the South Node, and it says, don't let the past hold you back. All right. And this is especially like an encouragement to get into that heart space and really move forward. You are shedding these layers. This feels like doing a very deep, a very in tune, loving ritual. And I would say do it on Monday, the 16th, before the eclipse and before the Chinese New Year, doing your ritual on the 16th so you can just manifest and be your best on the 17th, okay? So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week and take care. Bye.